this has been one of those things that has truly changed my life. I've got a wife and 6 children. I've got 5 girls and 1 boy. Luckily, the boy is the oldest. But this has been a true blessing for me. Haven't had a job in the last 16 years. And I'm not saying that jobs are bad. What I'm saying is that I've had the freedom to do the things that I have wanted to do over the last 16 years. And so what I want to share with you guys, the topic for today, I want you to write this down, is the master keys to success. Write this down, the master keys to success. Now, some of you, if you're not able to see my screen on social media, I am going to have a recording. All you have to do is follow me on Instagram and just say send recording. Okay, just put send recording. Follow me on there. I'll make sure and get you guys recording. I'll have a Zoom link for you guys. But this is the master keys to success. And the reason why that I can give this to you guys is simply because I've actually done it. I don't like to actually share things that I have not personally done myself. Now, by the way, if you guys can actually see my screen, go ahead and put a yes inside the chat if you're on the Zoom. I know on Instagram and Facebook you might not be able to, but if you can see it, just put a yes. Okay, perfect, perfect, perfect. All right, so the master keys to success. Key number 1, man, this has been critical to my life. Key number 1, read books. Now, when I say read books, I'm specifically talking about reading books on persuasion, reading books on influence. Now, let me tell you why I say this. Because you want with value, and I said the keyword value, you want with value to be able to persuade people to do business with you at the end of the day. And you're going to attract those people to you, to the value that you give, whether it's on the trading side, whether it's on the business side, whether it's being able to save taxes, eliminate debt and stuff like that. You want to be able to persuade people to do business with you. And how are you going to do that? By having influence. Influence is a master key to being a leader, because what did John C. Maxwell say? John C. Maxwell said, leadership is influence. He said it's nothing more, nothing less. Now, if you want that book, it's called Developing the Leader Within You, John C. Maxwell. I'd go on Amazon or wherever you can get it downloaded, and I'd get that book. Leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. You want to be able to influence people to success. You want to be able to persuade to being a visionary and influence other people to come and do business with you. Number 2, you got to study the styles of speakers. David Emenite has his own style. Matt Rosa has his own style. Jason Brown has his own style. Lawrence Young has his own style. China, Jewel, they have their own styles. Everybody has their own styles. Now, here's what you want to do, though, guys. Very important. You want to model how they do things. And then you want to modify that style to stay authentic to who you are. I can't pretend to be a David Emenite every single day. I got to be authentic to who I am. I can't pretend to be a Matt Rosa, all right? But I can learn from these individuals, and then I can modify to how I do things and continually improve myself. So you want to study them. So one of the people I used to study back in the day was Tony Robbins and Zig Ziglar. I'd watch how they did things. I watched how they would actually walk back and forth across the stage. I'd watch the hand gestures of Brian Tracy and stuff like that. So I'd model these individuals. You want to study the great communicators. Why? Because the better communicator you are, listen to this, guys, the better communicator you are, you're going to make more money. Bottom line. If you can master this art of communicating with people, okay, you're going to make a lot of money in your life. That I can promise you. You got to be very good at communicating with people to be successful, because if you're going to persuade and influence, you got to be good at communication. Now, to give you guys hope, when I was in college, and I didn't finish college, but when I was in college, I actually got a D in oral communications. So how you start is not necessarily how you end. That was when I was just beginning. All right. And so I learned how to communicate with people in person, social media and stuff like that, how to communicate from a stage, how to communicate on a webinar, stuff like that. Okay. That's key number 1. Key number 2, guys, write this down, set goals. And I know you always hear about this, but the reality is still the same. 97% of people do not set goals. However, I think that percentage would be higher in a business like this. But overall, 97% of people do not set goals. They keep these goals that they do have in their heads. Those will be goals that are never achieved, because goals without accountability are goals that are never achieved. Without goals, no great thing will ever be achieved. Guys, write these things down, share them on social media. Without goals, no great thing will ever be achieved. Let me give you an example. Do you believe that Amazon would be where they are today without goals? What about Walmart? What about Apple? What about Microsoft? Okay, they don't come in every day to work and wing it and say, let's see what happens today. They have not only 1 month goals, they have 6 month goals, they have 12-month goals, they have 5-year goals, they have 10-year goals. In fact, some companies have multi-decade goals, which means they plan to stay in business. The question I have for you guys today is, do you plan to stay in business? Do you plan to keep trading to be successful? Do you plan to keep building this so that you can create that residual passive ongoing secured income for life? Well, guess what? The best way you can do that is to set goals. All right, set the goals, put them in front of you, look at them several times per day. My goals are always in front of me. They're next to my laptop, they're on my phone, and they're on my walls. I want to see them everywhere. I want to constantly be reminded. In fact, I look at them 2 times a day on purpose, and the other times it's by accident. So it goes into the conscious and the subconscious mind, as we talk about and learn about from Mr. Bob Proctor all the times. You got to put them in front of you. You got to look at them several times a day. Why would you want to do that? Because you want to remind yourself as to why you are doing this, which is not just to make more money, because that's short-lived. Remind yourself of your why. Remind yourself why you are doing this every day. Look at them several times a day. Modify your goals as you go. Let me give an example of what I mean by this. What I mean by modifying is that over time, your goals are going to change. When I started at 19, my dream board that I had, it's a goal board, it's a vision board. It had a Rolex watch. Well, I ended up getting one. It had a big mansion, so I got one. It ended, I had a Corvette, which was a Z06 Corvette. I got one. The clothes, the vacation. So I actually achieved all the goals. It was all the materialistic stuff. Okay. I got it. And then the reality is eventually you get a little bored. All right. And so it doesn't matter what it is, especially at a material level. Sometimes you can kind of get bored. And so today, when I look at my goals today, nothing of the goals that I have really is material. Okay. Because I feel like I already got the material stuff. So now it's much deeper than stuff that's temporary. Do you know what my goals are today? My goals, listen to this. My goal today is not just about me. It's actually to help 1,000 people become a millionaire. Think about that. That's deep. That means that I have to get up every day and I have to have the mindset that I want to help 1,000 people become a millionaire, make over 7 figures, either have the net worth of a millionaire or make over 7 figures for the year. That's a goal that I have. And guess what? It's going to be achieved, because you call the things that are not as though they already were. You modify the goals as you go. Key number 3, write this down, guys. Key number 3, be a leader. And I touched on this a little bit. If you want to be successful, you got to be a leader. And this includes those who say, well, I'm just trading, right? You have to decide that you want to lead. Decide that you want to lead. It's a decision that you make. Okay. It is a commitment that you make long after the feeling and the mood that you set it in goes away. You have to step forward. That means you're not like everybody else. Guess what? I'm not like everybody else. I realize I'm a different person, right? You want to be, listen to this, guys. You want to be the uncommon father, the uncommon husband, the uncommon mother, the uncommon wife, or whatever it is you want to be, right? You're just uncommon, the uncommon business person, the uncommon spiritual leader. You want to be different than other people. Okay. Michael Jordan behind me, he was different than everybody else. Kobe Bryant, different than everybody else. LeBron, he's different than everybody else. Okay. These elite individuals are very different. In fact, they're almost like a fish out of water, but you become that leaders because here's the thing. And I'm going to speak boldly like Jason Brown did yesterday on our Super Saturday call that we had. When others are drinking, and by the way, I'm not putting anybody down, but just take this as an example. When other people are drinking, when other people are smoking weed, when other people are playing games and doing all those kind of things, when I say playing games, video games, all that stuff, again, I'm not advocating you can't play video games, okay? You be different. So that means for a season of your life, you're going to give up these things. Hopefully, eventually, all of it, okay? These are not the practices of the people that win. The people that I talk to, because you talked to Jason Brown, what did he do to get to his level? He made sacrifices. He actually gave up the video games. He used to be a big time gamer. Now, that doesn't mean that today he might not play an occasional game. Guess what? He made it. He made it, right? I gave up TV back in 2004 for years, sold my PlayStation, okay? And that's when I started to become successful. See, I'm just saying you've got to give up to go up. You have to make a sacrifice in order to get to where you want to be. Now, I also say this. If you're having to make a sacrifice to do this, I question why you're doing it. Maybe you're doing the wrong thing, because this is not a sacrifice. I love doing this. You lead, you step out, you step up, you set the example for other people. You be different. What does the good book say? We become a peculiar people. That's what it says in the New Testament. We become a peculiar people. We are different. Be different, okay? Study the books and audios on leadership. I memorize those books. You study, you become obsessed about leadership. And then you do what? You improve your leadership daily. Here's a secret, guys. You want to build a big business? You want to build a big business? My wife Jamie's on. Hi, Jamie. Everyone say hello to Jamie. Guys, you want to build a big business? Let me give you a key. Become a phenomenal leader. Because this entire business is leadership. And then we just so happen to have services that people use and see value in education, that people want to naturally come on board with us, right? So what's my goal? My goal is to improve myself to the point where I'm an elite leader. And so the better leader that I become, the bigger organization that I have. So when you look at this, the entire business is I'm going to raise over 100 phenomenal elite leaders, over 100 of them. And then beyond that, 500, 1,000, okay? Just like our goal of 1,000 chairmen. So what's your goal? My goal is to become an elite leader, to become phenomenal. Key number 4, guys, write this down. Number 4, write this down. Remember, note takers are money makers, okay? Be more confident. My goodness, confidence is the difference in being successful as a trader. Confidence is the difference between having success in this business and not having success in this business. Be more confident. Now listen to this. This is really important for you guys to understand. Self-confidence is the process of keeping promises you make to yourself. Getting up at a certain time every day. I don't care, COVID-19 is going on. Do you think that changes my commitment? Oh man, I didn't go to the next rank because I was waiting to get my stimulus check. How ridiculous. I get up at the same time. I set the time. This is when I get up. I get dressed up for the day. I pretend it's not even going on, even though that it is going on. But the question is, when this is all over with, who are you going to be? Who are you going to become? Are you going to be better off than you were before? See, self-confidence is following through on what you said you would do. That's who people want to follow. You have integrity. You have character. You're an honest person. You actually follow through on what you say. The good book says what? When you vow a vow, keep the vow. This is how you get confidence, guys. When you vow a vow, keep the vow. Confidence comes from what? It comes from pursuit. Pursuit, guys, is the proof of desire. Write that down. Pursuit is the proof of desire. Share it on social media. It comes from success after going through the mud. Everybody's going to go through it. I've had a major setback that happened over 10 years ago. I will not go through it at this point. I wrote an ebook on it called From Bankrupt to Abundance. Okay. A major setback, but it comes from success after going through the mud. Everybody's going to have setbacks, but as you know, every setback is simply a set up for a greater comeback. Okay. Everybody's going to find the river in the desert, the way in the wilderness. You're going to become a new person, and God or the universe is going to do a new thing in your life. That's what's going to happen for you guys. You got to hang around the right people. Why would you want to do that? Because it boosts confidence. You know, I shared at our last convention that we had in London. 95%, listen to this, guys, this is very key. 95% of the success and happiness that you'll ever have in this life comes from what? Hanging around the right people. Think about that. Hanging around the right people. 95% of your success and happiness. So it's not just success, it's your happiness. So if I want to become more confident, I'm going to hang around people that are going in the direction that I'm going. All right. I want to hang around people that are lifters. You know what I mean by that? They're lifters. They lift people up. They're inspiring. Key number 5, guys, write this down. Share this on social media. Have people jump on the Zoom, the Facebook, the Instagram. Take massive action. Tony Robbins talks about this all the time. You want to solve problems in your life, guys? Take massive action. Now, let me be politically correct on this, because taking massive action in the wrong direction is not going to help. Taking massive action with the right mentorship and the right system and platform is going to make the difference. Guys, if you are liking the message right now, put a 111 inside the chat. Put a 111. Take massive action. Nothing great. Now listen to this. Nothing great, not average, I said great, occurs without massive, consistent, focused action. Now I'm going to repeat this. Nothing great occurs without massive, consistent. Okay. It's one thing to say I'm going to take massive action, but if you only do that for 2 days, that's not going to help. Consistent, then focused action. You can't be looking at a new business every 2 days and expect to be successful doing what we're doing. You can't be changing your strategy every 72 hours and be successful as a trader. Okay. Look, all of us have to go through revisions and modifications to get to where we are. Okay. But when you are constantly changing things all the time and you're not consistent, you're not focused, boy, you're going to go through the land of struggle. Whether it's fitness, has been my experience, whether it's fitness, business, relationships, whatever it is, massive action is the key. Okay. If I want to get in shape physically, massive action. I completely changed my nutrition program. I feel amazing. I changed my sleep schedule. I changed how I'm working out and involving more cardio, HIIT training, high intensity training. I've got energy. Okay. I'm turning 40 in June. I feel like I'm 25. I feel great. Massive action, focused, laser focused, and consistent. Whatever you focus on long enough and hard enough will eventually become the fruit in your life. Listen to this, guys. Whatever you focus on long enough and hard enough will eventually, because it may not come in a week, it may not come in a month. In fact, it may not even come in 6 months, even though you want it, even though you call it out. It eventually will become the fruit in your life. Okay. Now that could be for evil or it could be for good. Okay. And I believe that there's, it could be God's will. It could be not in his will, the universe or whatever. Okay. Everyone has different belief systems. So we'll respect that there. But overall, this is the truth. Eventually it can become the fruit in your life, whether that's Chairmen, a 6-7 figure trading account, whatever it is, you focus on long enough, you can be successful. Key number 6, guys, think big thoughts. And I'll show you how I got that. Small thoughts equal what? Small results. You cannot have a Rolls Royce when you plant a Honda Accord in life. Now, some of you may say, well, I did it. Okay. Just understand the point that I'm trying to make here. When you are just planting tiny little seeds of action, it's going to be very difficult to expect 6 figures a year. Okay, so I'm going to be really politically correct here. You cannot hit Chairman 10 or a 6 and 7 figure trading account when you have platinum 150 work ethic. Okay, you have to become a different person. You have to become a different leader. Okay, in order to get those big results, you have to get around what it is that you want. Now, everybody wants something different. Some people want a house. Some want their house paid off. Some people want to eliminate credit cards. Some people want a different car, a nice car. Some people want to become a different person. Some people want to have a phenomenal relationship. Some people even want to get out of a relationship. Some people want to vacation more. Everybody wants something different, but here's the key, guys. Get around what it is that you want. Be around it, visit it, touch it, smell it. Get around it. Why? Because it will pull you to it. It's like some type of energy force. It becomes the thoughts on your mind. You become obsessed about those things. All right. Think and Grow Rich talks about it. Bob Proctor talks about it. You got to be thinking about that thing that you want. Get around it. Okay. Read books like I read at 19. It's still popular today. The Magic of Thinking Big. Write that down. The Magic of Thinking Big. Guys, you can get the audio for free. You probably have the book for free at this point. You probably buy it for $2, $3, $4 off Amazon. That book changed my thinking to big thinking. I went from thinking of just barely getting by to having what? More than enough. To living an abundant life. That's what started to happen for me. Key number 7, guys. I'm almost done with the master keys. But these are the master keys of success. When I say success, I'm talking about whole life success, not just financial success. I never just talk about financial success. I'm talking about whole life success. Change your associations. I wrote a book on this. And the book was titled, Love All, Hang with Few. Change your associations. What did I just say a little bit ago? 95% of the success or happiness we have in this life is what? The people we're around. Now, you may say, I've got a negative spouse or significant other. How do I get away from them? That's for a different discussion. You cannot afford to spend time with those who are negative, those who are not in support of what you're trying to do. What if you have a negative significant other? Think about it. What if you have a negative significant other who is not in support of what you do? Let me give you advice. Be quiet and grind. Don't tell them about what you're going to do. Just go and do it. Be quiet and grind. Because I promise you, when the results are showing that the debt's paid off, the money's coming in abundance, most of these significant others will be in support of what you're doing. Okay, and I say most because not all. Because no matter what you do, they may not be happy. But you go and make it happen. Okay, you cannot spend time with these individuals who are negative. Now, if it's not a significant other, it's a person around your life, here's the bottom line. You got to create distance. Now, I'm not just going to say, just get rid of them. Now, some people you probably do need to cut off immediately. Maybe if it's family, it's a little different. But again, you create that distance. You're slower to respond to phone calls, slower to respond to text messages, all that kind of stuff. You create distance, all right? Only spend time with those who are positive thinkers and eliminate the rest. What do I mean by eliminate? It means to disassociate. Disassociate. Stop associating with people who are bringing you down. Love all, hang with few. Why do I say love all? Because look, everybody's a child of God. We should love all people. Although I will say some of them are really hard to love, especially those haters out there. You know, it's sure hard to love some of them when they're talking trash about you constantly. However, we just disassociate. If we have to block them, just block them, right? The number one contributing factor to success is who you choose to associate with. Think about that. Number one, it's not the platform, the compensation, this, that, the leadership, the company, the vision. All those things help. But the number one contributing factor to success is who you choose to associate with. All right. That's huge. Okay. Last one, guys. Like I said, if you want to actually get the slides and recording of this, I want you to hit me up on Instagram at Brandon Boyd Official. And all you have to do is follow, and on the inbox there, the DM, just put send recording, because I'm going to send the recording to you guys. But here's what I want to do. For those who got on a little bit late, I just want to recap. Key number 1 was what? To read books. Key number 2 is to set goals. Okay. Key number 3 is to be a leader, because it's going to change your life. It's number 4, be more confident. Number 5, take massive action, laser focused, consistent action. Number 6, think big thoughts. Number 7, change associations. So what I'm going to do is to stop share, because I just want to talk to you guys for a second as we end this. We got over 600 people on here, not including all the people that are on Facebook Live and Instagram right now. I truly believe that this year, regardless of the situation we're in, because it's a situation, that's what it is. But I believe that 2020 will be the biggest year of your life in every way. All right. It doesn't matter what's happened in the past. It doesn't matter what has happened the first 4 months of this year. The rest of this year will be the biggest year of your life if you choose it. Because I know for me, it's going to be, and I've had some good years. This is going to be the biggest, most successful, abundant year of your life. You've got to call it out there. If you guys believe that, put a 2020, like as 2020 inside of the chat or comments in front of you. If you believe it, remember, if you can believe it, you can conceive it, you can achieve it. But you got to believe. It says we have to believe in before we ask. We got to believe that these things can happen for us. And if you believe it, and if you conceive it, you can achieve it. It's going to happen for you. Okay? It doesn't matter which, look, everybody's been, they got the plans until life punches them in the face, right? Everybody's had it. Michael Jordan had to go through it. 7 years in a row of losing in the playoffs before he did 2 3-peats, 6 titles, no losses. Everybody, including the best, goes through the land of failure. However, when you come out on the other side, you're going to be a new person. You'll have created that river in the desert. You would have had that way in the wilderness created. You would have chopped your way through that. And you'd say, man, I am super grateful. I am super grateful that I went through that, because I am the person that I am today because of it. So guys, if you like the message, put an amen inside the chat box. I love every single one of you. I want you to be successful. A rising tide raises all ships. I'm glad your boat's on the water. I'm glad my boat's on the water. I'm glad you chose to be here. And I'm glad that you chose to be free. Freedom is yours for the taking. Have an amazing Sunday, guys. Let's absolutely crush it this week. I love you. We'll talk to you very, very soon. Thanks, everyone.